Former President Donald Trump raised a total of $18.8 million through his joint fundraising committee and his campaign in the first quarter of 2023, according to new figures provided by his campaign. Donations increased after he was indicted by a Manhattan grand jury on March 30. According to CNN, the campaign also raised $15.4 million in the 2 weeks following the filing of charges against the former president, demonstrating how his supporters have rallied around him since learning of the indictment. The Trump campaign stated that his legal issues have benefited him politically and financially, at least in the short term, and have energized his base as he continues to campaign for his third attempt at the presidency. Trump's campaign stated on March 31 that it had raised $4 million in the 24 hours following the announcement of his indictment. The former president has entered a not guilty plea to 34 felony allegations of falsifying business records. According to the numbers disclosed by his campaign, Trump received a total of 541,971 contributions between January 1 and March 31. The average contribution was about $34. Comparatively, Trump received 312,564 contributions in the 2 weeks beginning on March 30 following the filing of charges against the former president, with the average contribution amounting to approximately $49. Prior to the indictment, the former president's daily income between January 1 and March 30 was approximately $168,000. Uncertain is whether the lift Trump's campaign claims to have received since his indictment will persist into the second quarter. Both the former president's campaign and his Political Action Committee, Save America PAC, have been raising funds for his 2024 presidential campaign. The Trump campaign reported spending $3.5 million in the first quarter and having $13.9 million in cash on hand as of March 31. Trump's first quarter fundraising numbers trailed a $30 million he raised during the first quarter of the 2020 election cycle, when he was still president. Rival hauls. Nikki Haley, a former United Nations ambassador and ex-governor of South Carolina, is among the other Republicans who have announced their candidatures for 2024. According to her campaign, she has raised $11 million in the 6 weeks since she launched her candidature on February 15. According to her campaign, she had $7.8 million in the bank at the end of March. Republican Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina, who announced a presidential exploratory committee on Wednesday following the end of the first quarter, reported on March 31 that he had nearly $22 million remaining in his Senate campaign account. Scott could transmit these funds directly to his presidential campaign account. Biotech entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy, who proclaimed his candidature for the Republican nomination in February, loaned his campaign $10.25 million as of March 31 and raised approximately $1.2 million from donors.